I'm Brendan Hall. I'm a round-the-world yacht race winning skipper and now speaker, where I talk about the round-the-world race that I did, and I share my story with corporate audiences, talking about themes of leadership, teamwork, collaboration, going through adversity, periods of change and transition. Those tricky moments that team has to dig deep, find its resolve, but those ultimately are the things that define any successful team. So the Clipper race is a pretty unique thing. It stands alone in the sailing world because anyone can sign up for it. So the people that are on the boat aren't kind of top sailors at the top of their physical and mental game. They're literally just people off the street. Anyone can sign up for this. I had 44 people of mixed abilities, mixed motivations, all drawn from the English-speaking world. That is a requirement. Have to have a degree of physical strength. We had a 60-40 split of men to women. I had from a 17-year-old up to a 63-year-old who'd recently had a hip replacement. So, huge diversity of the people who sign up. Lots of different backstories and walks of life and careers were represented. And everyone comes along with different thoughts and opinions on what they want out of the experience. And it's kind of your job to give them something. An amazing experience. I had one crew member who said they were on the race to win at all costs. Second place is the first loser, were their exact words. I had someone else who said they were on the race to try and meet a romantic partner. From all that, you've got to put together a culture and a way of working and a team ethos that pulls everyone together, gives everyone something they can align with and throw their discretionary effort towards achieving. The first part of that journey was one, surveying them and asking people what they wanted and really listening to their answers, not falling into that trap that I think we often do, particularly as leaders, where we'll just assume that other people think the same way we do, want the same things we do, motivated in the same way that we are. And we're really open to listening to what people want and what they expect of us as leaders. So like I said, the answers blew me away, but from that, collectively as a team, we came up with a mission statement. The words are etched in my memory. It was to do all we can to win the race and feel fulfilled. So there was an element of understanding this is a competitive thing, and we are here to perform, we're here to win, but also that this is a life-changing, life-affirming experience for all of us. So we want to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to maximize their own experience and get what they want, something that's fulfilling out of it as well. The things that were going to define our team were going to be how we handled the inevitable crises and problems that would come up on an experience like this. And where we would find the outcomes of these 10 teams diverge is in the aftermath of their big crisis moments. We had one pretty early on. It was the second leg out of 7 legs, and we were very lucky. It was a horrendous accident on board. There was some broken equipment, but thankfully no injuries and no fatalities, certainly. After that, we realized when we were thinking about why did this happen and trying to understand the decisions that had led up to that point, that we didn't have a culture where people felt safe to speak up and challenge authority. They were keeping their ideas to themselves. And whilst we didn't have some obnoxious kind of blame culture, you can't do this, there's only one way of doing things, people felt they didn't feel safe to speak up. And that was something we needed to address. It's a problem I come across all the time in the corporate world. We were a team where the highest paid person's opinion always carried the day. It wasn't a team where the best ideas won, where we were all better at listening to one another and understanding that the best ideas are going to be crowdsourced from the collective intelligence of the people in the room or on the boat in my case. When we unpacked this, we realized we had to create some more psychological safety so that people did feel it was safe to speak up, to share their truth, and where we would come up with the best ideas. And ultimately, by the end of the race, it was our single biggest competitive advantage. We outlearned and outdeveloped the other teams, not falling into the same patterns and traps each time, because we learned from every shared experience that we had, and we were able to learn from the mistakes and capitalize on our good performances, and that's what got us to our success in the end. A lot of the time as a leader, I was acutely aware that people are taking their own emotional cues from how they see you responding to the challenges, to the adversity, to the situations that you're in. you feel this responsibility, because it's not just about you, and whilst you've got to be an authentic person that's true to yourself and people don't see you as an emotionless android, you feel this responsibility that if I start to crack here and show too much vulnerability, then actually that people are going to start inferring things from that. And yeah, people have to sort of feel like you're on top of your game, you're doing the right thing. So there were times where I had to keep a lot of what I was really feeling inside, which is something that's okay to do, but only for a limited period, and understanding that when you get to port and suddenly you no longer have that acute responsibility, and the eyes are off you a little bit, you have to go and decompress in a slightly more intensive way. Talk to trusted advisors, people who can help you sort of process these things. But that was the sort of burden of being in that position of leadership out at sea, and really seeing people were, your mood becomes their mood. Your attitude becomes their attitude. And if you want people to perform and work at their best, they have to sort of see you as that role model as well.